Standley Lake JV Gators are playing their first game of the Chassa season, going up against Dakota Ridge JV. Looks like they have just as short a bench as we do tonight. But they got two lines. I believe we have two lines. And a fill-in goalie. One of our goaltenders is still recuperating from an injury, and the other goaltender is off in St. Louis playing with his other AA team. My name is Dan. I'm one of the goalie's parents. I'm Sawyer's dad. And we are new to Standley Lake JV this season. So I will be figuring out names as we go along. I will get them wrong often. And by the end of the season, I will know most of them. As I said, we have a fill-in goalie tonight. Aiden is filling in. Matthew taking the face off. Back to Calvin. And Dash throws it into the offensive zone. A shot over the net. Comes up the near boards. Jason. I should be giving the last names. I'm not sure what I'm doing now. It'd be a lot more helpful. Dakota Ridge with the puck in their own zone. Off Van Acres skate, and Dakota Ridge comes out to center. Turned around in the neutral zone. It dumped in the offensive end. Got our pre-game meeting with the coach today. Dakota Ridge comes out of their zone through neutral. Dumped into our zone. Coach talked about instituting a trap game plan for tonight. Off the near boards and out into the neutral zone. Rocky picking it up, skating into the offensive end. Shot over the net. Bouncing off the near boards. Reed throws it behind their net. First swiping at it. Dakota Ridge sweeps it out of their zone. Across to the far boards through center, bouncing into the offensive zone. They say no icing. Picked up off the end boards. Green gets out in front, and a shot and a save by the goaltender who hangs on. Nice play, resulting in a shot on goal. 13:25 left in the first period, 0-0. Being the first game of the Chassa season. So this first game for this mix of players and coaches, so still not sure what to expect from the season, but have high hopes. Another shot was saved by goaltender. Tucking in the near corner, slipped up the near boards. Kept in the offensive zone. Dakota Ridge picks it up and is taken there. Jackson back and forth along the far boards. Reed sweeps it out of the far corner, has it poke checked away, and Dakota Ridge throws it out to the blue line. Calvin keeps it in the offensive zone, throws it around the end boards. Sent out to the slot, and it's poke checked away. Dakota Ridge gets it out into the neutral zone. Gators turn around, dump it back into the offensive end. Nolan going into the corner for the puck. Comes off the near boards. Out to neutral, tip into our zone. Matthew picking it up, skating back out to the neutral zone into the offensive end. Pushed into the slot and lost the handle. Pushes it to behind their net. And Dakota Ridge brings it up the near boards. Long pass across the point. Thrown behind our net. And Matthew with a shot. And saved by the goaltender. Dakota Ridge picking up, throwing it out to the neutral zone. Down the ice, it'll be icing with 12:06 left in the first period. Off the face-off, kept in their zone. Ethan with a shot goes wide up the far boards. Dash with a poke check, keep it in the offensive zone. Matthew tried to sweep it in the near boards and is pushed out to neutral. Gators regroup. Oh, long pass, blocked at the blue line. Nice poke check, breaking up the play again. Regains the puck and throws it just wide of the net. Here comes the dash and he throws it out of the zone. Dakota Ridge bringing the puck around, pushing it into our zone. Behind her own net. Pass off the near boards. Dakota Ridge loses the handle in their zone. Nolan pressuring. Up the near boards. Around the neutral zone. Dakota Ridge skating through neutral with a steal by Reed. He gets into the offensive zone. A shot just wide of the net. Going back in front, not able to get a shot off. Puck comes off the near boards, pushed out to neutral. Owen pressuring. Dakota Ridge sweeps it into our zone. far boards. Dumped into the offensive zone. Pressure and it's sent back out. Alvin passes across for Jason. And dumped back in on goal. The goaltender shoots it to his side. Ridge with the puck, throws it up in air boards. Comes back out for Calvin. He passes back for Ethan. He throws it up to Reed at the blue line. That's shipped out into the bench. We have a face-off in their zone with 10:07 left in the first period. Dash on the face-off. Moves it over to the far boards. Puck out to neutral. Matthew with a nice poke check at the blue line. Forces play wide. Dash picks it up, turns it around, and dumps it back into the offensive zone. Bouncing on goal, and the goaltender had to make a play. Hang on. 9:48 left in the first. Dash on the face-off again. Got Matthew and Nolan to his left and right. Dakota Ridge controls. Send it out to neutral. Chipped back in their zone. Dakota Ridge brings it back out into our end. Matthew with the poke check. Gets the puck to Ethan. Ethan with a long pass to Matthew at center. He tips it into the offensive end. Coming off the end boards. Gators come out with it. Brought it out in front. Not able to get a shot off. Forced to the far boards. Get back behind the net. Little wraparound attempt. The goaltender covers. We'll have a face-up in their zone with 9:02 left in the first period. Coach has also mentioned there was going to be a little more physical play than a lot of these players have seen in the past. Refs tend to let a little more of the checking and stick work, as Tyson puts it. So, off the face-off. Back in front and a shot. Another save by the goaltender. He hangs on for another face-off in their zone. Off. Shot partially blocked. The goaltender stops it, and Dakota Ridge throws it around the board. Jason sends it right back behind their net. Dakota Ridge not able to get it out. Oh, attempted shot. Max not able to get it out. But there's Owen on Max. Dakota Ridge passes out from behind their own net, brings it through neutral into our zone. Lifting the stick with Jason breaking up the play. Reed pressuring, the puck comes free to the far corner. Calvin brings it behind our own net, turns it around. Pass out to neutral. They say it didn't come out. And it bounces out. The second attempt. Dumped into the far corner. Dakota Ridge passing up the far boards and throws it all the way down the ice. For icing with 7:54 left in the first period. Still 0-0. Dash on the face-off. Takes a shot, goes wide, bouncing into the near corner. Matthews brings it out in front, and a shot, and a bad save by the goaltender. Rebound goes to the end boards. Going out in front, there's a whistle. Somebody's going to the box. I'm not sure who. I think it's us. hooking. So with 7:39 left in the first period, we will have our first penalty kill. 2 minutes playing shorthanded. There goes Nolan Seafried with the penalty, hooking penalty. The face-off is sent right on goal, and Aiden covers to get the whistle. Matthew on the face-off wins it back to the corner, thrown out to the blue line, not out of the zone though. Thrown in front and blocked. Forced to the near corner. No one pressuring. Loosens the puck. Calvin sends it down the ice around the end boards. Matthew pressuring in their end. Brings it off the end boards. Gets stood up. Puck goes to the far corner. Dakota Ridge passes out of their zone. Turned around. Batted up to center. And Nolan McIntosh really dumps it back into the offensive zone. It's thrown all the way out to Ethan at our blue line, and he jumps it down the ice. Nolan sends it back into their end. 1 minute left in the penalty kill. Dakota Ridge skates through center into our zone. Forced right. Nope. Ethan with the poke check. Puck comes out to neutral. Nolan pressuring in the neutral zone. Ridge back into our zone. Shot blocked. Owen blocked the shot and then got it back to Ethan. Throws it off the far boards. Ridge regrouping in neutral, skating into our zone. And they're offside, so we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone with 35 seconds left in the penalty kill. Still 0-0. Rolled on the face-off and it's sent out to neutral. Dakota Ridge regrouping in their zone. Nice play by Reed, tipping the pass. Comes back to Ethan in our zone. His jump out is clear. Blocked. Sent slowly to the blue line. Slap shot goes wide. Comes Ethan in the corner. He passes out. Well, I don't know who 41 is. I don't have the 41 on my roster. Into the offensive zone, thrown off a skate, and time will expire on the penalty kill. We're back to 5-on-5 as Dakota Ridge brings the puck into our zone, gets tied up in the corner, and the puck's thrown out to neutral down the ice into the icing. With 5:26 left in the first period, still scoreless. Dash on the face-off again. Nolan, he skates it out of our zone, through neutral, into the offensive zone. Nice shot. And saved by the goaltender. He wasn't sure, but he had it in his pads. 5:18 left in the first period. Another shot on goal. Matthew taking the face-off. Pushes it over forward. Good dash, and it's sent back to the near corner. And throws it out to the blue line. It slips out into the neutral zone. That's a pass for Calvin. Dakota Ridge with the steal, skating into our zone. Long shot goes wide, bouncing off the back of the net. Picked up behind our net, thrown up the far boards. Out to neutral. Walking in the offensive zone, goes right in the shot. That bad save by the goaltender. turnaround shot goes wide. Goes back to Dash. He walks in front. Shot. Oh! Pick the corner and put it in it. Acre with the first goal of the season to make it 1-0 with 4:26 left in the first period. Face up again, dumps back into our zone. Calvin picks it up along the end boards, throws it around. Brought up the near boards and kicked out to neutral. Back to that blue line, and Dakota Ridge turns it around. Pass back into our zone. Lost the handle. Regrouping. Gators bring it out to the neutral zone. Tipped into the offensive zone. Push to the front of the net. Into the near corner, and Dakota Ridge dumps it out. They say no icing. Off the end boards. Turn around behind our net. Pass out to the blue line. Reed passes it. Owen brings it in the offensive zone. Right up in the near corner. Caught up in his skates. And a turnaround shot. Rebound goes up the far boards. Back out to the slot, tied up. Another shot goes wide. Sent out to the top of the slot. Dakota Ridge breaks up the play and tips it out to neutral. Breaks up the neutral zone, right back behind their net is Calvin. Back around the end boards. Neutral. Nathan picks it up in our zone, and he throws it into their end. Hits a skate. Their pass hits a body. And drop back into their zone. Tied up in skates. Dash comes out with it, and a shot blocked. That hurt. That hurt me. Thrown on goal again, and a glove save by the goaltender. He hangs on for another whistle at 2:21 left in the first period. Matthew on the face-off again. Backhand towards the net, comes up to Dash and shot, and a stick save. Goaltender wasn't sure where it was. Defenseman sends it out to the blue line. Ethan puts in the offensive zone, thrown around the end boards. Dash moving forward along the near boards, and it's thrown out to neutral. Gators regroup. Pass up to Noah. Long pass tipped at center in the offensive end. Nolan picks it up and throws it on goal, and a pad save by the goaltender. Loose, but the ref lost sight of it. We'll have another face-off in their zone with 1:44 left in the first period. Back around behind their net. Gets it off the boards. Comes out with a shot. The save by the goaltender. He hangs on. Keeping it 1-0. Gators. 1:30 left in the first period. Shot hit a skate, goes to the near corner. 41 throws it out to the top of the slot. Nobody's home. Dakota Ridge dumps it all the way down the ice. And that will be icing once again. Just wide of the net for Nolan. Flores picks up the rebound, skating out of their zone. The neutral into our end. High up in the face-off circle. Nash picks up the puck, skates out of our end into theirs, and a shot and a glove save of the goaltender. Ridge turns it around, pass out to neutral, couldn't hang on. Nolan sends it back for Calvin. Pass off the near boards. Up for Dash. Gators just over the net. 40 seconds left in the first period. Back to Calvin. Skates up to the blue line. Jumps into the offensive zone. Ridge standing up from behind their net. Comes into our zone. Ethan pressuring in the corner. Nice steal at the blue line. Ridge pokes it over the boards. Thrown into our zone. And Ethan sends it right back out. Mullins gets in the offensive zone as time expires on the first period. Gators going into the second period with a 1-goal lead. Gators 1, Dakota Ridge 0. Okay. We switch sides. Start the second period. 15 on the clock. Start by dumping it into offensive zone. And I found out the two numbers I was missing. Puck sent out on the Ridge's zone. Calvin picking it up in our zone. I had the wrong number for Leon. Number 41. Leon picks up the puck in the neutral zone. Turns around. Ridge dumps it back into our zone. Calvin picks it up behind our net. Past the chip, bouncing out to the neutral zone. dumped in the offensive end. Swept to the near corner. Reed throws it across the slot. Dakota Ridge tries to get it out. Matthew with the steal. Well, sort of. He pushed it to the far boards and it's sent up the boards and out of the zone. Ethan picks it up in our zone. Goes off the far boards out to neutral. Dash with the steal in the neutral zone. Brings it in the offensive end. Turnaround shot by Dash with the save by the goaltender. Comes out to the blue line. Wide of the net. To the side of that, Dash with another shot. The goaltender covers. We'll have another face-off in their end. 13:26 left in the second period. Matthew on the face-off. Tied up in his skates. Pushed out for Dash. Throws it over the net. Picked up the side of the net. Thrown in front. It's tipped. Sent out for Ethan at the blue line. He throws it back down to the far corner. Dakota Ridge turns around, throws it to the near corner. Comes out for Dash again. Slap shot. Pad save. Matthew tries to send the rebound to the net, but it goes wide. Back and forth along the far boards, and it comes out to neutral. Max sends it back into the offensive zone. Another shot, another save by the goaltender. Max sends it around the end boards. Reed throws it through the slot. Comes back to Reed at the side of the net, thrown behind the net and up the near boards. Max picks it up, throws it on in front, hit a skate, and sent back to the far boards, thrown it, shot, and hit another skate. Took it back out to neutral. Pass tip. Reed sends it. Jason has a shot and a blocker save by the goaltender. Dakota Ridge sends back up to neutral, bring it back into their zone. Jason chases it to the near corner. Nobody knows where the puck is. Jason with the steal. Wraparound attempt comes out in front. And a shot goes wide of the net from Reed. Kept in the offensive zone, pass to the front, and a shot and a blocker save. Nolan with another nice offensive scoring chance. Calvin throws it back to the end boards. Jason tries to bring it out off the boards, and Dakota Ridge steals, sends it all the way down the ice. With the icing with 11:13 left in the second period. Gators still up 1-0. Matthew on the face-off. Dakota Ridge controls, throws it to the near boards. Throw it across to the near far boards. Ethan brings it off the boards in front. Tied up. Nice check by Nolan. The puck comes free out to neutral. Sent back to the blue line. Kept out of our zone. The Eagles. I don't know if I ever said it. Dakota Ridge for the last time was the Eagles. I don't know if that was a shot or a pass, but it went off the glass. Going up the near boards and Dash hands it off for Matthew. And it comes into the offensive zone too soon. So we'll be offsides. We'll have a face-off in the neutral zone with 10:27 left in the second period. Reed picks up the loose puck, skates in the offensive zone. Shot from Leon goes wide. Bouncing up to the far boards. Goes to the far corner. Looking back and forth, and skipped. Safe. We're neutral back into our zone. Eagles bring it to center, and it's poke checked away. And they're able to dump it back into our zone. Standley throws it off the end boards.
Go, Leon, go!
It's Leon. He skates in the offensive zone in front. A shot and goal. Leon Stewart with the goal. Makes the lead 2 goals with 9:30 left in the second period. On the face-off. Dash sends it down the ice. Ooh. Sketchy bounce on the goaltender. Puck forced up the near boards. Dash controls the puck, throws it to the slot, and it's blocked. Eagles bring it out of their zone to neutral. Into our end. Nice poke check at our blue line. At the dash at center ice and tips it into the offensive zone. Pass back to the blue line. Eagles dump it down the ice. They say no icing. Ethan picks it up, skates behind our net. Long pass. Picked up at the blue line. Kept in their zone. Nolan walks it to the near corner. Dash tries to dangle around the player, and it's taken away. The Eagles' pass is blocked. Goes back to Dash. And a shot, and it's saved by the goaltender, I believe. Puck loose. Ethan keeping it off in zone, throws it just wide of the net. Matthew walking in front, a shot, and a save by the goaltender, and he hangs on. Face off with 8:03 left in the second period. If you join the stream, we're hoping to see the varsity team play. They're actually up in the Crested Butte. They played earlier today, won 5-1. We'll see the junior varsity team. Kept in the offensive zone. Another shot that goes just wide from Leon. The Eagles forgot the puck. Owen brings it off the inboards. Forced to the near boards. Eagles get it out to neutral.
On!
Down the ice. Calvin playing the puck. Over Jason. He throws it up the far boards. The blue line. Coming back to the inboards. Calvin picks it up. Going out to the blue line. Into the neutral zone and dumps it into the offensive end. Missed the puck in the corner. Owen throws it behind the net. Matthew fighting for the puck along the boards. Eagles bring it out of their zone. Into our end. There's an arm in the air. It looks like we're going to go to the box. Not sure which player. Looks like Matthew's going to go to the box. I think he gets hooking. Matthew says, I don't know what happened. It wasn't me. Yep, hooking. So 2 minutes of penalty kill at 6:44 left in the second period. Gators protecting a 2-goal lead. Nathan throws the puck around the boards, comes out to neutral. Down the ice, no icing. Eagles come out from behind their net. Turn around. Leon pressuring. Eagles skating out of their zone. To ours. Lost the puck. Ethan picks it up, throws it around the glass, bouncing out to neutral. Leon picks it up in the near corner, lost the handle at the side of the net. Not able to get a shot off. The Eagles throw it out to neutral. Gators throw it right back into the offensive zone. Picked up at the blue line. Dash walks in, a shot, and a bad save by the goaltender. Keeping it 2-0. Eagles skating through neutral. Into our end. 5:36 left in the second period. Went home via the pipe. Matthew on the face-off. Calvin turns it around, dumps it into the offensive zone. Here's still out for far boards. Brought to the slot. Nolan keeping it alive. Picks it up behind their net. Throws it off the end boards for Dash. Passes out from Matthew. He works around one player. Shot tipped just over the net. Dash picks it up at the side of the net. Forced free and sent out to neutral. Picked up at center ice. Gators walking in, gets it in front. Dash sends it to the corner and it's sent back out to the blue line but kept in the zone. Nolan forces it back out for Calvin. Calvin turns around in the neutral zone. Pass up for Dash. And if I'm saying your child's name wrong, please throw a comment. Tell me I'm not doing it correctly. Calvin drops it for Leon and throws it on goal, and a save by the goaltender. He hangs on. Four minutes, 12 seconds left in the second period. Gators with a 2-1 lead. Beyond the face-off. Comes out to the blue line. Long cut goes wide for Calvin. Shift at behind the net. Eagles bring it out from behind their net. Throws it off the far boards. Misconnection with Calvin there. He turns it around in our zone. Back out to neutral. Tips off the far boards. Reed blocked the pass. Turned around at their blue line. Nice shot by Calvin, breaking up the play. Ball comes free into our zone. Jason picks it up. Forced behind our net. Turns around. Throws it off the far boards. Comes out to neutral. Back to our blue line and jump back into our zone. Calvin back in the far corner. Throws it off the far boards. Right out of our zone. Leon skating it into the offensive end. Throws it in front and it's intercepted. And the Eagles bringing up the far boards out to neutral. Skating into our zone. Tipped towards the net. Aiden with the save. Pushes it to the near corner. Turn around. Passing a shot. Loose Eagle in front of the net. Puck came right to him. He's able to sneak it by Aiden. tie up the game at 2 in the second period with 2:54 left. Matthew on the face-off. Ethan forcing the play up through into the offensive end. Shot goes just wide. Dash throws it off the side of the net, comes right back to him. He sends it to the near front. Sorry, that was Nolan. He's back with the puck. Turnaround shot from Dash and a save by the goaltender. Keeping it 2-2 with 2:33 left in the second period. Matthew on the face-off. Loose through the slot to the far boards. Nolan sends it back for Ethan. He throws it back to the far corner. Turned around out of the corner. Nolan throws it in front. Not able to get a shot off. Comes back for Max. His shot tipped wide. Picked up behind the net and lost in the netting. Trying to get it out front. Matthew digging for it. Oops. Throws it off the near or end boards. Comes to Dash. Throws it in front, tipped. And Eagles send it out to neutral. Around the neutral zone. Ethan's skating to the blue line, regrouping. And into the offensive zone. Into the front, and a shot goes wide again. Bouncing up the near boards. Back into our zone, they say no icing. Max picks it up, skates behind our net. Passes out to the blue line. Owen skates into the offensive zone, the Eagles turn it around. Going back to the far corner, out to the blue line, and it's kicked out to the neutral zone. Reeds gets it right back into their end. Drops it for Owen, his shot is blocked. And he does get it back out to neutral and dump it down the ice. Turned around in our zone. Skating through neutral into the offensive end. Max's pass is tipped behind the net. Reed picks it up, trying to get it out front. And it's bouncing in the air. Let's pick it up and skate it out to neutral. Through center. Calvin picks it up, skates it in the offensive zone, throws it around the inboards. Bouncing out to neutral again. 22 seconds left in the second period. Long pass across. Turned around along the far boards, skating into the offensive zone. Jason gets it to the far corner, and the Eagles throw it around the boards with 5 seconds left. Long shot bouncing wide from Calvin, bouncing up the far boards to Dash as time expires. On the second period, we'll finish up the second period, 2-2. And for those of us new to high school hockey, there is a ice make between the second and third periods. So we will be back once the Zamboni has taken his laps. 2:15 on the clock. Tied 2-2. Yeah, taking the face off, wins it back for Calvin. Pass back to Cash. He walks in the offensive zone. Pass over to Matthew. He gets it towards the goal, and the goaltender covers. 9 seconds into the third period, we'll have another face-off. You can read the shots on goal. You can tell. Another shot by Dash. Bad save by the goaltender. Eagles pick up the rebound, skating it through neutral. Turned around in our zone. Calvin sends it out to neutral. Eagles dump it off the near boards into our zone. Calvin picks it up at the side of the net. His pass intercepted. Loose in our zone. Finally comes out to the neutral zone and turn around. Leon picks it up, walks to the side of the net. Shot goes wide. Still loose along the far boards. Leon tries to dump it in. It's thrown out off the near boards. And they say no icing. Max picks it up in the far corner. Brings it up to the blue line and jumps into the offensive zone. Pass up the boards. Bring it up to neutral and dumped into our zone. Ethan picking up along the far boards. Passes up for Leon. Turn around, up in their boards. It's dumped right back into the offensive zone, but will be icing. With 13:20 left in the third period. We'll have a face-off in our zone. Face off. Reed picks up the blue line, skates through the offensive zone. Goes off the end boards, comes out front. Matthew not able to get a shot off. Comes to the near boards. Ethan puts it in the offensive zone. Walks it behind their net. Throws it out in front. It's sent back to the far boards. Steal along the far boards. Exit to the slot. Dash with a shot. Going up the far boards. Kept in the offensive zone. Shot. I'm sure if that hit the goaltender or the post. Set back around behind their net. Kept in the offensive zone. Comes back to the end boards. Dash picking up behind their net. Between his skates, he throws it out to the slot. Shot tipped off the post or the crossbar. Loose in front and sent to the near boards. Right up along the boards. Puck comes free behind their net. Dash pressuring for the puck. Matthew fighting for the puck along the end boards. Right up in the skates, sent behind their net again. Sent back to the near corner. No one picks it up. Brings it off the boards, goes down front. Matthew not able to connect on the one-timer. Puck comes free to the neutral zone. Calvin turns around, lost the handle, sends it back into our zone. Calvin picks it up, skating out of our zone. Through the neutral zone, and Jason sends it in the offensive zone, brings it off the end boards. Tied up along the boards. Passes back to Leon, throws it through the slot. Reed picks it up in the far corner, puts it to the side of the net, comes back to Reed. Centering pass blocked. Poke check. Kept in the offensive zone. Another shot and saved by the goaltender, who hangs on with 10:49 left in the third period. Face-off. Comes out for Matthew. Top the slot. Pass back for Ethan. He throws it just wide of the net. Bouncing up the far boards. No one picks it up. Skates to the end boards. Moves in front. Blocked by the goaltender. Sent up the near boards. Ethan's pass being accepted. He regains the puck at the top of the slot. Kept in that zone. Matthew brings it off the near boards. Comes around in the corner, long pass out to the blue line. And a shot blocked in front and sent out for Mitchell. Backs back, gets the puck along the near board, or the far boards, pushes it behind the net. And his pass hit a body, he chips it back to the far corner for Dash. Dash turns it around, skates behind Aiden. Long pass across, doesn't connect. Should be icing, and it is with 9:50 left in the third period. Still tied 2-2. Right on goal off the face-off. Sent to the far boards. Picked up at the blue line, turned around. Back into our zone. Calvin on the pass. Turned around out of the corner. Long pass to the blue line. Owen picks it up, throws it behind their net. Turns it around out the far corner, throws it in front. The goaltender just covers it there. Off the face-off. Matthew with a shot that goes just wide. Picking up at the side of the net. There's a wraparound backhanded shot and it's saved by the goaltender. 9:02 left in the third period. Dash on the face-off. It comes out for neutral. Calvin back to play the puck in our zone. Pass out for far boards. Nolan picks it up, skates in the offensive zone, turnover shot. Loose in the crease. At the side of the net, put it out front. Matthew Ramirez picking up the rebound and putting it in to give the Gators a 3-2 lead. 8:43 left in the third period. Again on the face-off. Lincoln picks it up, straights it to the blue line, dumps it in the offensive zone. Around off the end boards. Owen throws it to the slot. It's tipped and sent out to neutral. Ethan forcing the play off the puck. Calvin throws it down the ice. Blocked at the blue line. Able to get a shot off, tied up in the skates. Reed throws it back behind their net. Shot and goal. Leon with the goal. Great play by Reed to bring it out front. I'm sorry. Owen with the pass. Setting up Leon to double our lead to 4-2 with 8:05 left in the third period. Face-off dumped into the offensive zone. Eagles pick it up on their inboards. And it's thrown all the way down the ice. There will be icing with 7:51 left in the third period. Wins it for Dash, and his shot bounces over the net off the goaltender. Fighting for the puck on the inboards. Arms in the air, and the Eagles going to the box. So we will go on a power play with 7:37 left in the third period, and number 20 is going off for hooking. Matthew on the face-off. Comes out for Calvin, who throws it right of the net. Comes to Nolan, who gets it behind their net, throws it out front. Matthew with a shot and a pass. Rebound comes to Dash, who tips it in. Backhand chip over the pad. Make it 5-2 with 7:27 left in the third period. Face-off right up at the blue line. Nolan forces it in the offensive zone. Eagles turn around, but Nolan keeps it in the offensive end and throws it wide of the net. Sorry, that was Leon that had the shot. He brings it back out in front. Nolan throws it wide. Eagles throw it out to the blue line. Ethan turns it around in the neutral zone. Passes back for all. Max who passes over to Nolan. Owen skates in the offensive zone, pass over for Leon, whose shot hit the pads, goes to the far forwards. Ethan kicks it off the boards. Eagles throw it back behind their own net. Up the far boards. He picks it up, lost the handle, poke check away. Leon picks it up in the neutral zone. Passes to Owen, but it misses. Eagles turn it around in their end. Loose in their zone. Eagles get it out to neutral. Dash picks it up, skates in the offensive end. Round 1-2. Backhand shot and a glove save of the goaltender recovers. Get a whistle with 6:13 left in the third period. Dash on the face-off. Dash turnaround shot. Rebound comes right back to him. He throws it to the side of the net. Shot off the goaltender's stick. Dash picks up the loose puck in their zone. Throws it back to the near corner. Matthew throws it off the back of the net. The Eagles bring it out from behind their own net. Pass out to neutral off the skate. Dash throws it back into our zone. His pass intercepted at the blue line. They clear. Calvin picks up the puck in our zone, turns around behind our net. Throws it off the near boards. Eagles bring it right back in. Jason throws it down to the zone. It's down the ice. There'll be icing with 5:23 left in the third period. Gators up 5-2. Leon on the face-off. Throws it back to the goaltender. Aiden covers for another whistle. 5:20 left in the third period. Going back behind our net. Calvin turns it around. Brings it out. Pass up to the blue line. Thrown into their zone. Beyond pressuring in their end. Oh, that'll be a trip. A shot and a save of the goaltender. Arm was in the air. He was already going to the box. Wasn't intentional, but it's a definite trip from Reed. Rossi, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. So he'll get a 2-minute rest in the penalty box. 4:59 left in the third period. Going on the face-off. And sent all the way down the ice. Goaltender plays it at the side of the net. Eagles skating up from behind. Through center. Into our zone. Centering pass hit, escape goes behind our net. Another centering pass blocked. Eagles thrown, pass across, and a shot, and a save by Aiden. He lost it for a second, but it was tied up in his pads. 1:27 left in the power play, or penalty kill. 4:26 left in the third period. Leon on the face-off, controls the puck. He's behind our net, throws it up the near far boards out to neutral. The Eagles pick it up in their zone. Pass across the blue line. Getting broken up. Eagles skating into our zone. A shot and a pad save by Aiden. Rebound comes to the near corner with 58 seconds left in the penalty kill. Going down the ice. Leon pressuring. Eagles turn around. Leon stealing the puck in their zone, 1-on-3, and he gets a shot on goal. Goaltender sends it to the end boards. Pass hit a body. And it's turned around, dumped down the ice from Calvin. Nolan pressuring in their zone. Steals the puck along the end boards, walks it off the boards, sends it up for a dash, and a shot up into the netting. I think he wants that one back. 14 seconds left in the penalty kill. We'll have a face-off in their zone. Dash on the face-off. Wins it. Pass back to Ethan. Comes out of the zone. He dumps it right back in. 5 seconds left on the penalty kill. Ethan with the puck in our zone. Penalty expires. Back to 5-on-5. Long pass to Dash at their blue line. He walks in the offensive zone. The shot hit a stick. And the Eagles send it back to the blue line. Ethan picks it up. Pass across to Nolan. Nolan skates behind our net. Throws it up the far boards. Pass off for Dash. He walks in. Gets in front. Throws a backhanded shot towards the goaltender. He blockers it to the near corner. Puck comes into the slot. Thrown wide. The Bills pick it up. Skate out from behind their own net. There's an arm in the air. On somebody. I believe the Eagles are going to the box again. Number 20's going back to the box for interference. Frequent flyer. Penalty box error. 2:12 left in the third period. Gators up 5-2. Leon on the faceoff. Comes out to neutral. Calvin picking it up. That's across to Jason. Passes back for Calvin. 2 minutes left in the third period. Long pass up for Leon, and the shot is wide. Goes out to the blue line. Calvin with a long shot. Blocker saved by the goaltender. And then near boards. Shot from Owen goes wide. Calvin throws it off the end boards. Owen picks it up along the end boards, and it's thrown back for Jason, who brings it. Passes back to the near corner. Nolan lost the edge. Puck comes free. Kept in our zone. Nolan picks it up, skates out in front. Throws it on goal. And it was a goal. I thought they waved it off. But Nolan has a backhanded shot that makes it 6-2 with 1:18 left in the third period. Power play goal from Nolan Seafried. Dash on the face-off. He wins it back into our zone. Jason picks it up, throws it off the far boards. Pushed forward. Eagles steals, regrouping in their zone. Skating through neutral into our zone. 1 minute left in the third period. Dakota Ridge parents upset with the check. Zone into the offensive end. The shot comes up the near boards. Pass across for Dash. The shot blocked. Dash gets it up. Leon back to Dash in the far corner. Thrown on goal and a save by the goaltender, bouncing in front. Thrown out. Jason chasing it back into our zone with 23 seconds left in the third period. He throws it out to the neutral zone. It goes all the way down the ice. Ethan pressuring in their end. That comes to the blue line, kept in the offensive zone. Another shot from Ethan goes wide. Dash moves it off the board with 3 seconds remaining. Tied up, and that will do it. The Gators start the season out right. 1-0. The 6-2 win over Dakota Ridge. 80 didn't face a lot of shots. I think they got 6 on the board. They got 50 shots on goal for your Gators tonight. Well, a handshake line, and that will do it for this weekend for the JV team. There was a game on the schedule that had to be canceled, maybe rescheduled later in the season. There is a game next weekend. I don't remember time or place, but I'm sure we will get emails out with reminders, etc. Until then, thanks everybody. Go Gators!